Let's do, on a scale of 1 to 10, the chances that the current hold-ins, the 4 big ones I mentioned a second ago, will actually last into the regular season with guys not playing due to injuries or just deliberately saying, I'm not playing. Let's start with James Cook, the Bills running back. He's not citing any injury. He just decided, I'm done. I've had enough. I'm not practicing until I get my contract. What's the chance that lasts into the regular season? Scale of 1 to 10.
Mike, I'm going to say it's about a 3. And I say it because it's his highest 3 because of who they have behind James Cook. They have good backs. Nobody like Cook. Ray Davis, good back. Ty Johnson, good back. But James Cook is an exceptional running back. Was really productive last year. But the reason I don't think it's above a 3 is because what Buffalo's trying to accomplish. We talked earlier about the Texans trying to get to the next level. We know what this season is about for Buffalo. If Buffalo gets to the AFC Championship game and loses, people say, same old Bills. This is about getting to the Super Bowl and finally winning it, Western New York. And you don't want anything to get in the way. And James Cook not being there gets in the way. I think it gets done.
I'm going to go all the way down to 1 because when Josh Allen told reporters yesterday that they desperately want him out there and he understands what James Cook is doing, he's trying to get paid, we're talking about generational wealth. The way the message was sent by Josh Allen, I think it was clear. Let's get this done. And, when you get into these situations, when you cover these kinds of things, you'll get different feedback directly or indirectly from each side. Because it's a big deal. They want to get it done. They're trying to shape public opinion, so they go to the people who are talking to the public like us. And you get a lot of complaints about, the agents being unrealistic, the players being unrealistic. Look, this is where I say if you're good at your job as a GM, you just find a way to get it done. You find a way to deal with unreasonable people. You find a way to make them reasonable. You find a way to make it happen. We've got a shared mutual interest here to get the guy on the field. Let's just sit down. Let's quit playing games and let's sit down and let's get it figured out. And I don't know why people are reluctant to just say, let's do this. Oh, if we seem too urgent, we're going to do a bad deal. You can be interested in getting a deal done, but not also give up everything to get the deal done. There's still limits to what you're going to give a guy, but we're working together here. Let's get this done. Anyway, I think they're going to get it done, and definitely before week 1. Trey Hendrickson, Bengals defensive end, still wants an adjustment to his contract. He says he's not playing under that contract. Chances of 1 to 10, scale of 1 to 10, that his hold-in lasts into the regular season.
9. I'm going to give it a 9. I think this is one of those situations, okay, you just mentioned, if you're a good general manager, you find out or you figure out how to deal with unreasonable people. Well, how do you deal with reasonable people? I think Trey Hendrickson, what he's asking, what his side is asking, makes all the sense in the world. It makes sense. Last couple of years, it's got 34, 35 sacks over a 2-year period. He's a terrific defensive end, terrific pass rusher. But the Bengals are stubborn. We know this. They were able to change, and it stunned us all. And they went around and they tweeted about it. They had a whole social media campaign because they turned around and they signed T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. And they wanted, as Chris Rock said, they wanted a cookie for that. That's what they were supposed to do. But they wanted a cookie for signing their 2 best wide receivers. But that's the outlier. They don't like being called out. They don't like being told what they should do. I think they're stubborn enough to let it last into the regular season, unfortunately.
I think that it's more like a 5 right now because there's 2 different ways this can go. And I'm confident that at some point the Bengals will expect Trey Hendrickson to work. Oh, you're holding in? It's time to get ready for week 1. And we will fine you. We will suspend you for conduct detrimental to the team. At some point, you just have to go to work. That's the flaw in the hold-in, and I don't know if they're finding him. Last year they were trying to find Jamar Chase, and maybe they did find him. They probably waived him when he wasn't practicing. But if Hendrickson isn't injured and he's not practicing, that's not going to sit well with the Bengals. And at some point it's going to be time to go to work. When Roquan Smith was holding out with the Bears, now he was later traded that year to the Ravens, but that year that he held in with the Bears, at some point if we don't reach a deal, it's time to get ready to play. And if you don't, that's when you run the risk of conduct detrimental to the team, fines and suspensions. So I'm at a 5 because I just don't know how aggressive the Bengals are going to be about this. But there is a chance that they'll eventually say to Trey Hendrickson, we're not giving you the contract you want, and we expect you to show up and play. And he's going to do it because he's not going to want to lose his game checks.
And you mentioned Roquan Smith. That's a great example. I think, with Roquan, didn't he say initially, hey, we couldn't come to a contract, I just got to move on. And then he played and they traded him in season to Baltimore. Am I getting that timeline screwed up, or did it happen just like that? They wanted to come to a contract. He said, I'm going to do the right thing. Then they traded him.
Yep, it's exactly what happened. And that's when the hold-in doesn't become a contract. What are you going to do about it? And the Bears played him for a while and then moved on by trading him to the Ravens. All right, one more, and then we'll take care of the Micah Parsons situation on the other side. Terry McLaurin, the guy who was holding out for a few days, showed up for a few days, demanded a trade. He's holding in. What's the chance that one lasts into the regular season?
I'm going to put that just above the Cook one. I'll give it a 4. Because I'm looking at it from the perspective of the Commanders. They were just here in New England practicing against the Patriots. I told Gary Carter, #1 Commanders fan in the world, I told him, they need McLaurin desperately. The Patriots were a bottom 5 defense last year. They've improved their personnel, but I don't think they have great talent. And the Commanders, without McLaurin, really struggled. As a matter of fact, the Patriots look like the better team in this joint practice with the Terry McLaurin-less Commanders. So the Commanders have to look at it and say, what do we have? If we're trying to build on last year, and he had a guy who had 13 touchdown receptions, and we take him away, what are we doing? For McLaurin, I think, he wants to get paid, but I don't think he wants to leave Washington either. So this makes sense for both sides. 4, maybe I'll even take it up to a 5. Take it down to a 3. It makes sense for both of these sides to get a deal done.
I'll go 7 on this one just because I could see Washington not blinking and I could see McLaurin not budging. And it goes a week or two. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, for all of these, let's find a way to work it out. Let's put the macho bull crap aside. Let's look, there's a way to find a win-win in these deals. And it's just unfortunate. I think anytime we get to this point, it's a failure by both sides. Typically, it's by the team because the team is the one that wants to exert the power and the leverage. But I just, that's always my reaction. It's all the agents being a jerk. Well, it's up to you to overcome that. It's up to you to get a deal done. It's up to you to say, we need to figure this out. And we know we got to pay you more money. Let's just do something that works. How hard is it to gauge the market? How hard is it to come up with a fair number? How hard is it to continue to work together when you've been working together all these years? Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.